My name is Captain Vikas. I am currently 24 years of age. I live in Bangalore and I started in aviation back in 2020. I am also a mechanical engineer. I found my passion with aviation very unexpectedly uh, through YouTube and flight simming and all that. I have a quite elaborate flight sim setup at home as well. Currently, I'm flying with Air India as a trainee first officer, and aviation is a wonderful field, and I'm very proud to be a pilot.
Great, great. So, Captain, tell me something. What made you become a pilot? You see, you became engineer first, then you sort of coming, you have a simulator as well. Where did the passion come from?
Uh, from a very young age, I was very fascinated with airplanes. My grandfather was in the army, so I've been around helicopters and helicopter pilots and all of that. But somewhere in between, I mean, it happens to most of the teenagers. So I was lost in what should I do, what should be the career path, and all that. I did take up mechanical engineering just to stay in the aviation part of it. In second or third year of engineering, uh, there was a sort of a boom kind of thing on YouTube where pilots started uploading their videos. At the same point of time, one of my friends, he joined a flight school and he started taking off flight lessons to become a commercial pilot. That inspired me. I just was struck that if he can do it, why not me? And
Absolutely.
yeah, from there onward, I started taking up more aviation-based subjects in my engineering as well. So I am specialized in aerospace as such. That intrigued me more and more. At one point of time in my third year, I think closer to my final exams, I was like, it is very interesting, but I am not really interested in building planes as compared to flying them. But I did do a few projects based on engineering in aerospace as well.
Hmm. Amazing, amazing. So, kind of, you got in building a plane, and you were like, let's fly it now.
Yeah, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, great, great. So tell me something. During when you decided that you wanted to become a pilot, you went ahead, you started your digging around how to go about the training and everything. What are the challenges that you faced? What are the primary challenges that were there in front of you?
Back in the day when I actually started it out, it looked like a very straightforward path. Back in, I think it was 2019 December when I finally decided that aviation is something which I wanted to do. COVID was just starting out. We didn't even know what COVID really was. I didn't really have an idea of how COVID would impact as such. At that point of time, it was more about should I join the cadet program or should I go with the conventional path? Um, what really are the opportunities and which is the correct flight school to go to, and if with a cadet program you already have a very clear idea as to this flight school will give you these facilities and you go here do your training and you it's a very straightforward path. At that point of time, figuring out what are the steps itself was a big challenge.
Hmm.
I actually set out writing down things such as how to get a class 1 medical, how to do a class 2 medical, and what are the steps to get a DGCA computer number. I made lists so that it would help friends who are joining aviation later on as well as further students. Um, so the biggest challenge I would say for any aspiring pilots is basically to understand what you are supposed to expect. Okay, the thing is, a lot of students come up with very varied expectations of what it's going to be like. The main thing I would like to tell for somebody joining aviation is you have a lot to study. There are a lot of opportunities as such. There is tons of different things that you can do. It's commercial is just one small part of aviation. It's a huge industry, and you just need to get excited about it. Look at different opportunities, and there are tons of videos and lot of people. It's a huge community.
See, a lot of parents and the students themselves
Hmm.
are really expensive on whether they should become a go the conventional way or the cadet program. What's the uh, difference that you feel today being placed in the Netherlands itself? You 2019, 3 years down the line, you're already in the airline. right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of pilots feel that ek saal ke baad, once we complete this, will we get a job? Where will we be? Cadet program is expensive, but we'll have a surety there. Is it worth it? If it's not, how conventional is different, and what are the challenges there, man?
I actually got into a few cadet programs, including SpiceJet, but I've been very lucky to have good mentors in that way as to guide me. I finally went with a conventional program because I just wanted to explore what different avenues and opportunities that they had. When I actually started, this was back in 2019 when I decided to become a pilot. I had just done my medicals and I didn't even have a computer number. When I actually started in aviation, it was peak COVID. There was no vacancies, nothing. So I did know there are opportunities to become flight instructor, and that's it. I did not know what else exists as such. So my thought process at that point of time was, if not the airlines, but I still want to be an instructor and get the hours. That was my initial thought that when I joined conventional pathway. But going the conventional pathway, I have got so much exposure and so many things that you rarely get to see in a cadet program because it's very structured. It's good for somebody who has the very stiff goal that I want to be an airline pilot itself. For someone like me, I was open to any opportunity. If somebody gave me a crop duster, I would definitely want to fly it. I did a little about 10-15 hours of instruction once I finished my training as well. So I have really loved the general aviation part of it. So I would definitely suggest people to go the conventional route, because you will find a lot of different opportunities which you don't really see. There examples would be flight instruction is just one part of it. There is bush flying, there is crop dusting, there is survey flying. Even within India, we have a lot of survey flying, and you can go into the Coast Guard and general aviation as such. General aviation is not that big in India, but right now with the opportunities abroad, it's a very big thing that and with general aviation, the good, very catchy part about it is you'll get to fly a lot of different aircraft. That gives you a very big chunk of knowledge that you don't really get flying one single aircraft type all your life.
Yeah, amazing. So did you do your flying in India or abroad?
Yeah, I did my flying in the US, in Florida, and I did my type rating in UK. So I've always tried to keep it varied. I did my conversion in Kanpur as well. So
Amazing.
I've seen 2-3 different parts of the world.
Yeah.
So I did my RTR in Canada. So
Do
I've
share your.
explored a lot.
Oh, you've done your RT in Canada as well. Amazing.
Yeah,
So do share your
yeah.
experience, because see, again, someone who's becoming a pilot right now, who's giving his exams. Next stage for him is to decide where to go, where to fly. Now, a lot of questions is, shall I go to US? Shall I go abroad, Canada, US, somewhere, or shall I do it in India? What's the difference? The costing is nearly the same, but what's the difference in exposure, right? So that is something that I would want you to answer.
Yeah, I definitely feel the exposure is very, very varied as compared to India and the US. India has a very structured kind of flying where there are a lot of rules and regulations that are set apart by the Air Force. We all know that India's entire airspace is controlled by the Air Force. So even if you're doing VFR flying, you look at your instruments and you fly a straight line, you go to your destination and all that. US, we don't do that. We just take off and we look at the coastline, we follow the coastline, we go to the airport that we desire. And you do it in between huge traffic. I mean, it's nowhere comparable to the traffic that we have here in India. You'll see Black Hawks and F-22s and F-35s flying right next to you. So it's a very different exposure that you'll get there. You'll get to go to challenging airstrips, which is very, very short, and you'll do challenging approaches. It's a very different, huge exposure. And there, even with respect to the training, they give a very big aspect to practicality of it. So they are very keen on 50 feet up or 50 feet down. How much bank are you maintaining? That's not really. I'm not saying the Indian standards are bad. I'm just saying that it is. You'll get a very good idea of what the basic flying, stick and rudder flying that you need to know as a pilot abroad. Okay, I'm not saying, I'm not sure about other countries, but US as such, the aviation industry is hugely developed, so the exposure is definitely there.
The leisure flying over there as well. There's so much happening in
Yeah.
itself in the flying school. So yeah, I agree. So moving forward, I won't take much of your time. So what would you suggest? See, today aspiring pilots in India, they're really fed up with they get really, what's the right word for it? They lose patience when they don't get the computer numbers on time. Let alone giving the exam and let alone getting the conversions done. Any message for them over here? What should they look forward to?
Oh, I just figured this out very recently. I mean, I've been through those phases as well. It's been 5 days, it's been 6 days. I have not got a reply. There's no replies to my emails, and I have been through those phases. So recently, I just figured it out that just keep doing what you love to do. I mean, I always, to be frank, the moment I have 2-3 days of free time, I go on I have a very elaborate home simulator. I just fly on my simulator, and I don't know how time passes, and within 10 days, oh, there's my computer number. Let's go write the exam. I have figured out ways to do that. Find things that you love to do. Maybe you like studying. I love to study. I mean, I've studied the Airbus manual around 3 to 4 times, and whatever let's say you're getting bored of the same thing that you're studying, study something different, but try to stay within the realms of aviation. I think last week I was waiting for one of the Czech flights that we do, so it was getting delayed. They sent us to Kolkata and we came back, and so throughout the flights, what I was doing, I was sitting and I was reading about these North Atlantic flights, where they go over the poles, and how to navigate. I know in the Airbus and Boeing, we just have simple navigation system and it keeps going straight.
Yeah.
But I was reading about how they used to do it in the olden days by setting each of the things on the INS systems and giving out radio calls. Just keep reading and doing things that you love to do, and you'll not even realize as time passes and things just keep happening. Things will happen. It will happen when it is supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You just need to find things to keep you occupied.
Amazing. And well, one of the questions: what do you think of MAV Aero Safety right now? What do you think of our approach, helping students, bring, aspiring them, introducing them to people like you, and letting them know that you're not alone in this fight? Everyone has gone through this.
Yeah, it's a very good initiative. I really support that. I have personally tried to do it, but I do understand that having a big community as such will definitely help put out the word. It's a very nice initiative as such. I would definitely like to contribute with whatever limited amount of resources and knowledge I have. I will try to do my best in that way. I mean, the procedures and all the steps that you need to do get revised almost in a monthly basis, maybe even weekly basis. But still, we over the years we develop this habit of where to look forward, look to the correct steps and correct procedures to do things in a correct way. So I definitely think it's a good initiative to send somebody who doesn't know where to look to somebody who knows and who's been in the industry, to tell them, okay, go to this website, click on this link, you will land up in the correct page with the correct instructions.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Captain. I won't take much of your time anymore, and we have the content which we need. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, thank you.
Once we share the video, do share it, like it, and comment on it.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Also, I would definitely encourage all new aspirants to try out different things. Don't stay in just one place. You are definitely set out to become a pilot. That doesn't mean you should not do other things in life as well. Do whatever you like to do. Paint, draw, run. I mean, I'm a big fan of fitness. I work out every day. If I don't work out, it feels like what am I doing in life? So don't forget other aspects of your life as well. It's a very important thing to keep yourself. You're a human being, so don't forget other aspects of life.
Yeah,
Aviation is
reminds me of
important.
one question. That reminds me
Yeah.
of one more question. A lot of parents come and say that how important is training when you're
Mhm.
becoming a pilot, right? Whether you need to be thoroughly prepared, you need to go to the best school and the best of the best, or you can go to a school which is considered best, but it's okay, that suits your pocket as well, right? What is your advice over there? How should they perceive it?
It's more about the aptitude of the student as compared to the quality of the school. Yes, the quality of the school does matter, but more on the physical aspects. For example, aircraft maintenance, what sort of aircraft they have, what sort of facilities they have, and obviously the caliber of the instructors as well. Apart from that, it's more on the student. There's so much material available and it's all free of cost. Nothing in aviation I've seen now is paid material that you need to pay for a subscription or anything. Most of the things that you need to have is free of cost. The student has to have that aptitude. Okay, I want to learn about this, I'm very intrigued about this, I have a doubt in this, where should I look forward? Ask your instructor that. If obviously the instructor has to be a knowledgeable person to tell them, guide them in the right direction, um, and send them on to the correct material. It's going through the material. I mean, for example, FAA, US aviation authorities have published something called the Pilot Handbook of Aeronautical Knowledge. So that book has around 3,000 pages. It's impossible for somebody to sit and learn 3,000 pages. Nobody expects you to do that. But the moment you're intrigued, you should open that book and see, okay, this is what the book says, and this is what I've done in my training. You should be able to correlate that. That comes as an aptitude of the student as compared to the flight school.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I totally agree with that. One more question, if I'm not taking much of your time. As a
No, it's okay.
what would you say should be the long-term and the short-term goals for the new aspirant pilots who are coming up?
Okay. Long-term goal is a very wide perspective, and these keeps changing as your career progresses. But short-term goals are quite important because you need to know what is your next step. For example, somebody who is just starting out, learning about the medicals and getting your medicals cleared is your first short-term goal. Next would be getting a computer number and clearing your exams, and then so on, RTR, FR12, and doing your flying conversion, so on. So each step has to be there. It should be a goal. For example, getting your private license, then your instrument rating, and then your commercial license, and so on. Those short-term goals are very important. Don't get beat down that I have not yet got a job, I'm not yet in the airlines, I am not yet where I'm supposed to be. You're not supposed to get beat down by it. You will definitely go through you should feel happy when you're going through these short-term goals. The moment you get your solo, the moment you get your first stripe on your shoulder, all of these are very proud moments that you need to be happy about. These would be the short-term goals. Long-term, I would say, for me, it has changed a lot over the years. Uh, First long-term goal I had was just getting into the cockpit, just sitting in the cockpit and feeling the thrust while taking off. That was my first long-term goal. Once that was done in a small general aviation aircraft, then the next long-term goal was like, when will I sit in the multi-engine aircraft? The next goal was, when will I sit in a simulator of an airliner? The next one was, when will I sit in the real airliner? So these long-term goals also do change, and you should not get beat down that something is not happening. That is achieved by achieving your short-term goals.
Fair enough, but a lot of pilots, aspirants think that I want to fly for, let's say, Indigo. I want to fly for Air India. Some say I want to fly for, I just want to fly Airbus. Some say I want to fly Boeing. Should that be a criteria for their goals in any case?
I don't think so. I love the Airbus because I'm currently an Airbus pilot, but I've always loved the Boeing as well. It's not a criteria. If I had sat down and thought that I just want to become a Boeing pilot, it would definitely have had an impact on where my career is currently. I don't think that should be a thing as such. Having a wider perspective is okay, as in somebody wants to do charter flying or general aviation or the airlines itself or some other things like cargo or some those sort of broader goals is okay, but having a very specific goal of a specific aircraft or a specific airline is little bit, I would say it's limiting your own perspectives.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Any recommendations? Anything for the young pilots or aspiring who would want to share? What you look up to? Which figure that you look up to? What is your posting? What is mantra that's brought you here, and that's going to take them apart? Up in the flying high in the soars and in the skies as well.
Yeah. So first major thing is I would say keep your eyes wide open. It's a beautiful blue sky up there. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of things. Keep your eyes open is in a figuratively way, meaning be open to new things, new thoughts, new experiences. You may get a chance to fly a tail dragger or a glider or anything as such. Be open to anything that comes your way. Do not shut doors just thinking this will delay my career or whatever. Keep your options open. Also have a very keen interest for gaining knowledge. In this industry is such a thing that you will have to study and you will have to gain knowledge throughout your career. I never claim that I know everything, and it's every day there's something new. There's some new document that is published, or there's some new procedure that is published, or something that was old that does not exist anymore, but that can give you a perspective about why something exists today.
True.
So keep your eyes and ears open, learn as much as possible, read as much as possible. It's with the internet in today's day and age, you have access to way too much resources. Know what resources are the right resources, but definitely look at everything that is possible. We are not telling you to buy hard things. Nobody is asking you to. It's not engineering or it's not any other theoretical course that you will sit and buy hard numericals or formulas or anything. That read as much as possible. The other day, it is nowhere related to today. I was reading about the Airbus A310. A320 is derived out of the A320. I just realized the systems are so similar that it came from this ancient aircraft. Yeah. And learning about that aircraft has given me a much better understanding of my own aircraft. So keep your eyes and ears open. Be open to studying a lot of books. People are afraid to do that. Keep a lot of documents and books. I have an iPad full of almost 15-20 GB of documents. Even if you don't go through each page of it, look at it. Have a look at it. Keep your eyes. Be intrigued. Do as many things as possible, and be curious is what I would like to say. That's been my mantra in aviation.
Absolutely. Now, to be very honest, this is all very heavy on the study side. What is the fun side of being a pilot?
There's a lot of fun sides of being a pilot as well. You get to stay in 5-star hotels, and you get very nice food. You wake up and you can literally go, even if you're on a diet, you can go have wonderful tasty food and work out in very posh gyms, and you will live. Though civil aviation and military aviation is very different, you still feel like you are a pilot at the end of the day, and you will definitely feel proud in that uniform once you're flying a plane. And being in the sky itself is a very joyous thing. The moment you're 500 feet on finals and you have your hands on the column, you forget the world exists. It's just you, the plane, and the runway in front of you. It's a beautiful feeling at that point of time, and everything fades away. It's just that, and it's a very spiritual experience as well. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing. Well, really glad that you could share all your thoughts and your views as well. I'm sure that these young aspirants, which we are going to be sharing this video with, take a lot to understand and take this in and breathe, to be very honest, when they're taking the next.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, because they see young generation today, everyone is getting very they don't have patience. They lose patience too soon, right? So we need people like you to share the stories so that they can be more patient about it. The parents go ahead and start thinking कि cadet के अंदर नहीं होगा तो job नौकरी कैसे मिलेगी? We need stories like yours that it's an experience. Go ahead, go out and see what's there, and you will eventually get here. There's no worries about it.
I mean, it's you. You should never be disheartened that, oh, I'm not in the airline. But still, there are you're at the end of the day, you're a pilot. You can do something. Yeah,
Yeah.
and instruction is, I feel, instruction has helped me a lot. I've met a lot of wonderful students. I've learned from a lot of students. I've met a lot of instructors, and it's something I'm very proud of. And flying these smaller aircraft, it's a lot of fun. It's more fun than flying an airliner. Airbus is almost like a computer doing all the stuff on its own.
Yeah.
You'll fly a Cessna, you'll feel like I have hands on the controls, and I'm actually flying the plane. So have fun. Uh, keep your eyes open. Again, keep eyes open for any opportunities that you have. Don't say this is not the airlines. I don't want to do this. That's not the right attitude. You have to be patient. Yes, that could be your final goal, but be open to any opportunities that come your way.